guys, this is Friday, September 11th, and this is the Mustang Press. We are starting this year off with a recap of what happened over summer. A big political event from this summer is that the 69-year-old businessman Donald Trump declared to run for president as the Republican candidate in 2016. The leading Democratic candidate is Bernie Sanders so far. Same-sex marriage was legalized in the United States on June 26th. South Carolina's state capitol had a Confederate flag flying, and the United States had asked them to take it down. No potential presidential candidates besides Jeb Bush have made any announcements of whether or not they support taking away the Confederate flag from the United States. Some people see the flag as representing racism, slavery, and ignorance, while others view the flag as representing anti-authority, home, and rebellism.
For the first time since 1961, the American flag is flying again over the U.S. Embassy in Cuba. In the words of U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry, the time has come for Cuba and the U.S. to unfurl our flags and let the world know we wish each other well.
Syria is one of the most dangerous places in the world. Over 200,000 people have died and millions have fled the country, creating a world of problems for places like Jordan, Egypt, and Turkey. So how did Syria devolve into such a mess internally and become a training ground for ISIS? Well, it's complicated, but let's give it a try. This is Bashar al-Assad. He's the unlikely president of Syria. Unlikely because he wanted to be an ophthalmologist. But after his brother was killed in a car accident in 1994, his dad, who ruled Syria for 30 years, said it was time to get into the family business. When Hafez al-Assad died in 2000, Bashar became president. At first, he said he'd enact democratic reforms, but soon he started acting more like his dad, the dictator. Needless to say, he wasn't winning any popularity contests. And when the Arab Spring sprang in Egypt and Tunisia in 2011, Syrians also took to the streets, trying to put the kibosh on Assad's regime. Not surprisingly, Assad's government responded with brute force. The military killed, tortured, and kidnapped protesters and eventually destroyed entire neighborhoods and towns where they lived. It wasn't long before a bunch of rebel groups who hated Assad started to form. And jihadists who wanted to exploit the chaos started to show up in Syria too. And that's when things went from bad to worse. There are the extremist groups like ISIS, you've heard of them. Then there's the al-Nusra Front, al-Qaeda's branch in Syria. The Free Syrian Army is the umbrella term for a number of different groups of so-called moderate rebels. The U.S. has said they'll be arming and training these guys. Both the jihadists and the moderates are fighting the Syrian armed forces, the army of the Assad regime, estimated at 150,000 strong. Civil society has taken a huge beating in Syria, and everyone wants to get out of there, which has led to one of the worst refugee crises in modern history. Close to 4 million people have already fled, and thousands more are leaving every single day. In fact, here's a look at where they're all going. And this is putting a tremendous economic and political strain on all these nations.
While other countries have been quick to accept refugees, the United States has been more hesitant. As of September 5th, the U.S. has only accepted 1,800 refugees out of the over 4 million seeking the world's help. According to Republican Representative Michael McCall, while the United States has a proud history of welcoming refugees, the Syrian conflict is a unique case representing the largest convergence of Islamist terrorists in history.
As many of you may know, today is September 11th, also known as 9/11. Today we remember the victims and families who were affected by the attacks on the World Trade Center 14 years ago. As of November 3rd, 2014, the new Freedom Tower has been finished and the memorial is now open to the public. The rest of the buildings that will make up the World Trade Center will be completed in 2018. This July, Caitlyn Jenner gave her ESPY acceptance speech for receiving the Arthur Ashe Courage Award.
If you want to call me names, make jokes, doubt my intentions, go ahead. Because the reality is, I can take it. But for the thousands of kids out there coming to terms with being true to who they are, they shouldn't have to take it.
After accepting his Vanguard Award and giving an 11-minute long speech, Kanye West announces his running for president in the year 2020. In other VMA news, Nicki Minaj slays Miley Cyrus by calling her out on the interview Miley did about Nicki earlier in the week. As the host, Miley simply responded by congratulating her on her award and blowing it off.
Tonight, the new M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Visit, comes out in theaters. Make sure to check out this new horror film coming to theaters near you.
The Instagram pick of the week goes to Brendan Atkinson for posting this swaggy picture with his sister.
The tweet of the week goes to our own Sarah Dunans for posting this video of Zach Maynard doing what he does best.
The Mustang football team plays tonight at Beaverton. There will be a student section, so come out and cheer with us.
Hope everyone had a great first week of school. That's it for this Mustang Press.
Have a great weekend.